Breaking: George Soros just transferred $18 billion. George Soros is widely considered nothing less than a puppet master by those on the progressive left. Soros is often seen as the guiding hand behind far-left movements across America and, in fact, across the world. Soros' recent transfer of $18 billion to the Open Society Foundations only serves to corroborate the idea that he is the progressive maestro of all things far-left. According to the Wall Street Journal, this money transfer represents a bulk of Soros' personal wealth. The Open Society Foundations is a nexus for several left-wing groups across the world. The Soros-backed organization doles out funding to groups like Black Lives Matter, pro-EU groups in Ukraine, and others. The goal is to further a far-left agenda of globalism, radical secularism, and social progressivism. By putting $18 billion into the Open Society Foundations, Soros is all but guaranteeing that his legacy and vision will be furthered by the organization, even after his death. Soros has called his contribution long-term support. Overall, $18 billion is roughly equal to the annual gross domestic product, GDP, of Afghanistan. The Open Society Foundations now can operate with government-sized coffers. This news is nothing short of troubling for conservatives. Longtime conservative activist Grover Norquist provided another wrinkle to this story on Twitter when he wrote, "Report: Soros is hiding $18 billion from the death tax by putting it in his foundation. He doesn't trust the gov with his money. Just yours." The death tax is better known as the estate tax, which places penalties on large inheritances. Such tax avoidance is not entirely out of keeping with Mrs. Soros' history. 2 years ago, Forbes reported that Soros may owe as much as $6.7 million in back taxes. Many of these fees stem from Soros' history of opening and closing hedge funds and tax havens like the Cayman Islands. Ironically, Soros once told CNN's Fareed Zakaria that he believes that he should pay more in taxes. Even as he said this, Mr. Soros was amassing a paper trail of income tax avoidance. According to documents hacked from the Open Society Foundations, the group has used its financial power to try and influence elections in Europe. One of the key operations of the OSF is to keep populist candidates from reaching the levers of power in Europe. Also in Europe, the OSF was caught paying the salaries of government officials in Moldova via a cutout in the form of a German think tank. Finally, the leaked emails and documents reveal that the Open Society Foundations was deeply involved in the quest to get Europe to open its borders to migrants from North Africa and the Middle East. Thanks to Angela Merkel's decision to open Germany's doors to migrants in 2015, Europe has seen a noticeable uptick in terrorism, crime, and demographic displacement. Now, with $18 billion in new money, the OSF can spread its influence far and wide. Given Soros' well-known antipathy to President Trump and his policies, do not be surprised if OSF starts to seriously block or otherwise retard President Trump's domestic agenda. Also, expect the OSF to continue its anti-populist crusade in Europe. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.